Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mrs. Lard. Yes, you can call me Mrs. Lard. Today I'm going to bring a topic that comes onto my inboxes almost all the time. People asking me, I want to come to Europe, I want to come to Ireland. How did you do it? And should I go to the bank and borrow money? Yeah. So anyway, that's the topic of the day today.
We talk on the phone.
If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. Share, like, subscribe, follow, whatever on my social media. I have a TikTok account which I just started actually this year, and I just want that to grow as well. So follow my TikTok account, my Facebook as well. I'm posting stuff on my Facebook, and Instagram it's a bit too slow, and yeah, just follow on my social media account as well. Anyway, thank you so much. I just looked at my YouTube studio and I've gained 4 subscribers. Do you know what that means for a new for a small YouTuber? It's a lot. Thank you so much. And for those who are returning onto my content, thank you so much for rewatching it all over again. So like I did mention that I'm gonna talk about people wanting to come to Ireland and asking if they can actually borrow money, or yeah, how can they do that? And for me, it's a very conflicting question, because I can't decide that for you. You know your pockets, you know your monies, so I can't decide for you to go onto the bank and borrow money to come to Europe. I can only talk of my experience and say that for me, I saved money before I came here. I used to work in a bank, and I used to do direct sales. You know those girls that sit outside the bank? And I saved that money from that. That's where the chunk of the money that I traveled to Ireland came from. And to be honest with you, at the time, the Irish government wasn't really that strict when it comes to bank details and bank, you know, right now things have changed a lot. You have to prove that you can finance yourself in Ireland. So I got my finances through savings from my job. And yes, I borrowed money. My sister actually went into the bank as well and borrowed money from her bank and gave me that money. And within 6 months of me working in Ireland, I managed to pay her back. So there is a catch for this. If you do borrow money to come to Europe, you have to work so hard to pay it back. It is not just a matter of months, a matter of weeks, and I can pay you back. It might take you years to pay them that amount of money back. So would I advise anybody to borrow money and come here? If it works for you, great. Borrowing money is a very sensitive issue. It depends on where you are borrowing it from. If it's from the bank, know that you are putting yourself in credit and you have to pay it back. If it's from family members, know that you have to pay them back, because it might create a lot of strain into that relationship. And if it's from Matonisa, then they will be on to you if you don't pay them back. So I've also had somebody saying that I don't want to come here to study. I want to work. If you have the skills, go ahead. There are a lot of websites which I will link put the links below to. You can look for a job, and then they can arrange for a visa for you to come here. I think during the COVID they used to do that because they were looking for carers, and I don't know, I'm not too informed about that anymore, but I think they have stopped it. I'm not sure, but it's for you to find your research and do your work. And yeah, research. I love to research. And yeah, so what else can I say? Yeah, if I were to invite you over, which I do, I can, you have to come in as my visitor, and then you have to leave after a certain period of time, because you are visiting, and the whole idea of you coming to Ireland is you can come in and visit and then leave when it's time for you to leave. And then if you come in as a tourist as well, there's a time period. Because I come from Botswana, we are visa free to Ireland. But if you want to stay for more than 6 months, you have to apply for a residency visa to stay here, whether it's a student visa or something else. So I can't really advise you. Like I always talk about myself because I've been through the process myself. For me, a student visa, it's the most, like, it will take you time. I know it's very expensive, but at least you are here legally, and you can pay for your school fees, and you can work at the same time, and you can also do whatever you want to do because you are now not living here illegally. So yeah, so would I advise people to borrow money? That's not for me to say. Will I do it? I would. I did it, and I managed to pay people back. So if you are trustworthy, and if you are 100% sure that you can pay people back their money, go ahead, mama, go ahead, daddy, and borrow that money and come. And then again, let's look at this in this sense. Is it actually worth it? Is it worth borrowing money and coming into Europe? And look at your situation first. And are you working? Am I going to leave my job and then come here? And is it worth the money that I'll be spending on to travel, or even school fees, or even pocket money and all the like? Is it actually worth it? So look at that and then balance it off and then decide on that. Because sometimes I look back on the people that I started working with when I was working in Francistown at the time. Their life has gone almost double. Their career has gone all the way up. They are managers of the banks right now. And I'm here still doing, those kind of jobs. What can we do? But is it worth it? Would I go back? I think it's a little too late for that, because I feel like my life is here now. Home is always a home. I'll always go back home. But will I resettle it back? Or will I encourage people to quit their jobs? What I would say, it depends also on your age. When I came here, I was 30 years of age. I was quite young. Well, yeah, that's what I think anyway. And I had a lot of energy and a lot of ideas, and I was so eager to work. I was working almost 24/7. And then when you get older and older, it declines. It declines your health, your mental health, you start to think about yourself, and then the amount of time and money you put on, it just decreases. So so look at that in that sense. If you are a young person, great, come, you have a lot of energy, you can work 2, 3, 4 jobs, but just reconsider the fact that you're getting older with time. Will my body actually manage to do a night shift and then go on to do a day shift as well? Because that's what other people are doing. I had a friend of mine who actually she owns the company. I always talk about her, but she's amazing. She's over 60, and she does cleaning work, and then sometimes she goes on to do night shift as a carer. So that is also things that you might need to. Are you willing to work so hard? I know people will be up there saying, I can do this, I can work, but so think about all those stuff when you decide. Will I encourage people to come to Europe? Absolutely. I have no issues with that. People travel, people migrate. Here, the people from here, they go on to Australia, they go on to UK to work. Why not? So Yeah, that's all I can say. I cannot discourage anybody because you don't know where your seeds is going to fall. Your blessings. I'm not that religious though, but you just try. I always wanted to travel. I've always wanted to live abroad, and that feeling, it never goes away. You would always have a nagging feeling that I think my life would be better somewhere else. And if you feel like that, go ahead, honey. Pack your bags, borrow that money, but just make sure that you pay it back. Because if you don't, you will actually be stuck in Europe because you're scared to go back home because you owe people money. So just make sure that when you borrow money, return it back. That's all I can say. Thank you so much for watching my content. I know it's kind of changing a lot, but I showcase my life in Europe and in Ireland in particular, my travels outside Europe as well. So if that's kind of the content that you're looking for, do please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Am I fumbling a lot? Am I? Just comment the down below and tell me how am I doing. Am I growing? I think I am. My videos are quite different from the first videos that I know the lights. It's so dark outside. Anyway, thank you.